Hello BookTube, my name's Nadine, welcome to my channel. I was tagged a few weeks back by Ollie at Crimnolly in the relationships tag. He did a fantastic video. I very much doubt I will be able to do it justice, but let's have a go. Oh, the light's just gone really weird. England. Okay, so let's see what these questions are. So, number one, what book or books, can't speak, have you had the longest? I know, I will show you. It is a book that I've had, as far as I'm aware, my whole life. But yeah, give me a sec and I will show it to you. So, this battered, very ill-used book I've had for my whole life, as far as I remember it, and I have very fond memories of laying in bed with my mum at night and reading stories from this book or looking at the pictures. It's over 100 years old, so I have no idea where my mum got it from. It's definitely not from her childhood, because my mum was Norwegian, so she grew up in Norway and didn't actually learn English until she moved to England with my father. But yeah, so as I said, it's been very ill used. What's this? I haven't looked at this for a while. Oh, okay, so it's something I'd made for my mum when I was little. To Mum, I love you, love from Nadine. And she's obviously kept that in there, that's sweet. Gosh, I have no artistic talent though. Right, but yeah, so it used to belong to Hilda in 1924. So Hilda, I have your book, and it has been battered, and unfortunately it's been drawn in lots and lots, and my mum's written a phone number in there at some point. But I absolutely treasure this book for all of the happy, warm memories that it gives me. And I will possibly, I don't know, I will possibly read it with my daughter too. However, she is very heavy-handed and this book is very fragile, so we will see. But yeah, so this one, I've always loved that kind of picture at the front, and yeah. And in my memory, it has always been this battered as well, so it's not just me that's done all of this damage. So yeah, my fairy storybook is the book that I've had the longest relationship with. Okay, there we go. So, question number 2. What authors have you had a close relationship with that you're still reading today? Probably Stephen King. He was, I think, the first adult author that I read, or author of adult books anyway, that I read. I think I started with Misery. I remember Needful Things, Salem's Lot, Pet Sematary. I think they were like my first taste of adult horror novels. And I still read Stephen King to this day. Also Anne Rice. I remember reading a lot of Anne Rice when I was in my early teens, and yeah, again, to this day, I read Anne Rice. What new author did you start a relationship with recently? Okay, so I think these might turn into relationships. We've kind of gone on a date and it went well, and I think maybe I'll call them again. So the first one was an author that I read for Victober. I read a short story by Vernon Lee, which I really enjoyed, and I definitely want to pick up more of her work. I think from a quick look, she seemed to write supernatural fiction, so I think that would go quite nicely with the sort of things that I'm into. So yeah, Vernon Lee might well be a new relationship that I'm on the cusp of. Also, Ali Smith, I will talk more about it in my wrap up next month, but I've just recently finished Autumn by Ali Smith, and it was my first book of hers that I've read. and I just loved it so much. Like, you could really get a sense of the playfulness of language, and there are so many things packed into this little novel that, you know, you could reread it multiple times, I think, and find new things in there. So yeah, I think I'm on the cusp of something there. Number 4, name a book or books that you would say influenced your formative years. Gosh, that's hard. One book that I remember being really fond of when I was still only allowed in the kids section at the library was a book called The Earth Witch. I can't remember the name of the author, but I will look it up and I'll pop it here. And I think because it was about this woman who, she had a lot of power. She was a witch. But she had a lot of power over people and her own life. Like, she lived her own way and she didn't conform. And I think for somebody that grew up in a very traditional working class family, where all that was really expected of me was to want to start a family, and, you know, the idea of living any way differently was just alien. That was really, it was a really powerful thing for me. So I borrowed that book from the library multiple times. I read that so many times. I think that's probably why I was always attracted to these strong women who did something out of the ordinary. Okay, so number 5, name a 2-character relationship in a book that is central to the narrative of the book. The first one that comes into my mind, I don't know if it's quite what the questions are looking for here, but Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I think the relationship that the unnamed narrator has with the idea of Rebecca is central to the story. The jealousy of the ex-wife borders on an obsession, so that Rebecca haunts the narrator. But also, what else have we got? My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. The relationship between the 2 main characters in this, Abby and Gretchen, the friendship in this is so strong, and that is one of the main themes of the book. You know, no matter what is happening, that friendship really carries them through. Okay, number 6. Name a book that has a great depiction of a family. I don't think I read a lot of things to do with families generally. Oh, how about Little Women by Louisa May Alcott? I love that book. I've read that a few times. No matter what's happening in these siblings' lives, they support each other, and, you know, their love and regard for each other is so strong that, you know, you can believe that they would get through anything. And the way the mother looks after them as well, and the love that they have for their mother, I think is wonderful, really. And, you know, they bring Laurie into their family, into their fold as well, and yeah, they're a lovely family. So that one. Number 7, name a book that features a love or obsession with a different art form as part of the story. Ooh. I'm going to be really obvious here and go for The Portrait of Dorian Gray. by Oscar Wilde. Everybody knows that story. I mean, surely everybody knows that story. If you don't, then read the book for sure, because it's a masterpiece, really, a masterpiece of Victorian horror fiction. But in it, and central to the story, is this portrait that was painted by a friend of Dorian's, Basil, gosh, what was it, Basil Walland or something like that, Basil something, certainly, who was just completely infatuated by Dorian, infatuated by his beauty and his youth, and so that kind of imbues the portrait with something of Dorian's essence. That is all I shall say on that. And then finally, number 8, tag some people. As always, I am very late to this game. I can't remember seeing Pax do this one. And I really enjoy her videos, and she does do tag videos, so hopefully if she has done it and I've missed it, then let me know, but I haven't seen it. So Pax Panic, I will tag you, you wonderful creature. I think I've seen most other people's at some point. So yeah, Pax, it's on you. And that is my lot. I'm thinking about doing a readathon next month, taking part in the, I think it was Christmas Evil, so I'm going to have a look at those videos now, those announcement videos, and see what I've got on my shelves, because obviously I can't buy anything. But yeah, I'll catch you in a little while. Goodbye.